Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another Burlingame. It's a small town podcast sponsored by the Burlingame Historical Society. This is Mark Lucchesi, also known as Mark at the Mic, and my guests today are two homegrown Burlingame ladies and current Instagram influencers, Jackie Groffman and AKL, who until we reveal her name at the end of the show will be called AKL. Ladies, thank you for joining me today on Burlingame. It's a small town podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you so much.
So I mentioned at the beginning of my little intro there that you're both Burlingame girls. Jackie, I'll start with you. How about a little history of yourself?
Yeah, of course. So I grew up on the peninsula, and my mom actually owned several salons here in Burlingame. So it was just such a great connection being, part of the city, growing up here, going to school here, having my mom and my dad both be business owners here. And yeah, so now I work in fashion. I've gone off to school. I graduated, and I'm doing big things.
So I read that you went to Burlingame High School?
I went to Mercy Burlingame,
I'm
actually.
sorry, Mercy.
Yeah, I'm a Mercy girl.
I'm sorry,
I'm a
it's
Mercy
AKL
girl.
that went
Yeah.
to Burlingame. Yes, and we'll get to her
Panthers.
in a moment. Yeah. Okay, so you went to Mercy.
Yes.
And then off to UC Santa Cruz?
Yes, I went to UC Santa Cruz. Go Banana Slugs.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
AKL, a little bit about yourself.
Panther over here, Burlingame High School, class of 07, graduated. Yeah, exactly. We had the paw when I was there. Went to St. Mary's over in the East Bay. Graduated there with an English literature degree. And yeah, currently working in San Francisco for Levi Strauss.
So you're both in fashion.
Yes.
And that's why you're both here today.
Yes. Yeah, we both
Exactly.
work for Levi's.
Yeah. Well, you were buddies since high school, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
were.
Did you have the fashion bug back then?
I would say definitely. That was like one of the main kind of facets of our friendship. I would say was that connection over fashion and creativity, things like that.
We would see each other on MySpace.
Yes.
See what we wore to the party the weekend before, critique it, like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said MySpace.
Yeah, way back in
Yes.
way even before Facebook.
Before Facebook.
Yeah, that was the first one out, I guess.
Exactly.
It was.
Wow. Okay. So let's just sort of clear things up for our listeners out there. And Jackie, I'll start with you, and then we
Yeah.
can go to AKL. What's the difference between fashion and style?
Yeah, so my experience is that fashion is something that is ever changing. It reflects trends, it reflects a moment in time, and personal style is really an offshoot of that. It's the expression of how you get dressed, how you approach your wardrobe, how you express yourself in what you wear. And it's really unique to each individual, kind of similar to handwriting or something like that.
AKL?
You just did that great. I 100% agree. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that style is what's inside you. It's what inspires you. It's how you reference the world around you. And fashion is also a wonderful thing, but there's a bit of a trend kind of component to that, which makes it less authentic, I would say, than having style.
Yeah. In a sense, it's almost like you can apply fashion trends to your personal style. You pick what works for you. But I would say that expression of style is so unique to each individual, and that's a beautiful thing.
AKL, how would you describe your style right now?
Well, right now I'm wearing a red pajama set with a really unique bag. I would say, are you talking about right now in this moment or just in general?
In general, yeah.
I would say that I'm very into color. That's a part of my personal style. And I just love having, someone once said I dress ironically, which at first I didn't know if that was a good or bad thing, but I took it as a good thing. And I like surprising people with what I wear. So I would say that's my personal style.
Jackie?
I would say my personal style is very straightforward. It's structural. It's, as AKL likes to say, she calls me a concept dresser. So I fixate on textures and shapes and specific items of clothing. I'm kind of habitual in my approach to fashion.
Okay. Why are people interested in fashion, Jackie?
I would say, again, it kind of goes back to that personal style conversation. It gives people that opportunity to really express their individuality, to say something about themselves or about the world around them and how they're experiencing life.
AKL, you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you guys consider yourselves to be fashionable? I guess you do, right?
I mean, we consider ourselves to be stylish.
Stylish.
That's the yeah.
So anywhere
that's
in your
perfect.
interview where you have the word fashionable, change it to stylish.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're much more interested in that intersection of personal style.
We
boy.
like style because it feels more,
Okay.
it has more of a timeless appeal than the
Okay.
trends that kind of go in and out of fashion. And I think too with style, it has a broader landscape. It's not just about fashion. It could be about interiors. It could be about the arts. It could be about architecture. There's just more happening when you start thinking about style versus fashion.
Yeah.
Okay, from here on out, anything that has fashionable in it or fashion, we're dropping that word, okay? We're going to style.
There we go.
All right, so
You're learning fast.
Jackie, is there a particular style you admire?
We were just talking about that. I would say again, it's like this amalgamation of everything you see around you. So it's what's happening in current events. It's where you are in the world. Like we just went to Greece over the summer. It was so fun, and I feel like that kind of like that approach to life, that looseness, that like aspect of fun, that indulgence of being on a vacation. That's been really inspiring my personal style lately. And over like the last probably like 6 or so months. Yeah.
We were also talking about how growing up, our parents or just our family around us, how they inspired our fashion. Because we do wear quite a bit of vintage. I would say our closets are maybe, I don't know, like 40% vintage.
If not more.
If not more, yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, truly. So I would say that, yeah, like looking at old photos of our parents at different decades, or aunts or, grandparents.
Yeah.
So you're saying vintage is a style, not really kind of a fashion, but more of a style,
I
correct?
think right now vintage is trending in the marketplace. So from like a fashion point of view, it's on trend to be sustainable, to recycle, to upcycle, to buy better, wear longer. So I think right now that's definitely trending. But yes, definitely can give you a
been
personal
authentic.
twist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about influencers like the Kardashians and the Hadid sisters, okay? If they put on something new, and I'm just going to use this as an example, a new pair of torn up jeans and they're faded, does that cause excitement at the stores right away? Do they have that kind of influence and power?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They have exceptional influence over lots of groups of people at the current moment.
And anything that they're seen in automatically becomes a thing. So it really is that if you think about a trend as being some sort of like a peak of sorts, like there's kind of like that lead up the actual peak to it and then it kind of falls. The Kardashians or the Hadids wearing something it's going to just catalyze a brand or a style or anything really that they're referencing is going to become hugely popular, and that is that peak moment within a trend.
So here's a question that I've been thinking about for a while. What's the deal with the ripped jeans and the faded jeans? Why? They've been around for a while now, I think, huh? You pay $160 for torn up faded jeans. I don't get it.
That just gives you a little attitude, gives you a little edge. How'd you get that hole? Did you fall?
I used to ask the ladies at the store that. I go, "Oh my goodness, did you slip and fall in our parking lot?" "What do you mean?" I said, your jeans are torn. So it kind of get a little bit of a look.
It's a little bit of a rock and roll vibe.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Little
I would say that's
attitude.
so quintessential Californian too, in terms of how you
laid
approach
back.
denim
Like
wearing.
we don't care that we have holes in our pants.
Yeah,
Right.
We're just wearing them.
Yeah.
Okay. So my next question says, do you read fashion magazines? Well, I'm going to drop the fashion. Do you read style magazines? Do you read Glamour, Mademoiselle, I don't know, Cosmopolitan? What are those magazines?
Mademoiselle.
I don't know. Is that even
I
maybe
don't know
more?
that one.
Okay, maybe it's not even published.
Okay, I would say definitely, like in an airport, anything goes. So I'm definitely buying the latest issue of Vogue or whatever I can get my hands on. But on a regular basis, I would say in terms of like publications themselves, the age of the internet and the invention of Instagram, of TikTok, of things like that, trend reporting is so fast these days that by the time something comes out for Vogue or for Cosmo or any of these other publications, it really is kind of like recapping things you've already heard. So I would say in terms of like those types of magazines, I'm almost reading it for like interesting articles.
Yeah, I was going to say great educational kind of tools.
Yeah. like opinion-based conversations and things like that from writers that I admire, more so looking at it as like an authority on fashion and style.
Okay, so the style trends you're really looking for on TikTok, Instagram, and other social media sites, I guess, huh?
Yeah, or just the streets, you
Yes.
know, just walking around a busy area and seeing lots of different types of people walking around. You know, I think just going on the Embarcadero in San Francisco is a great
Okay.
place to kind of understand, okay, what's happening here? You know, lots of different people in that particular area.
Well, that leads to the next question. And I know you both work in the city. Do you visit clothing stores up there to see what's going on? Or do you just people watch and...
I love a window shop
love a
moment.
window
Yeah,
shopping.
Jackson Square is very close to where we work, and there are some fabulous little
Yeah.
boutiques on that particular street that can be very inspiring to walk by.
Absolutely. And then, on the weekends when we can make our way out to like Hayes, Valencia Street, Fillmore, any of those, we're going to definitely take a moment to check out some stores, to see some windows, to try on some product, to interact with the store. Because I would say even too, like, you want to go into a store and see if people are friendly, see if people talk to you, see if people want to work with you. Again, that approach to personal style. You only want to wear things that you like, that you have a good experience with, right?
There's definitely the power to a great window display.
Yes.
I think, you know, just think about Burlingame, Morning Glory Boutique. They do a great job
she's fab.
at, you know, putting that trend
good.
piece out there in a great way and giving their own unique Morning Glory twist on it. A vest just caught my eye in their store window the other day. Sent a picture to Jackie. So
So you both agree with that? You both enjoy, when you're walking on the avenue, you enjoy Morning Glory is one of the stores?
oh, absolutely,
Absolutely. Yeah. Morning Glory is great.
That is a coven.
Yeah, and that's an establishment. I mean, that store's been there for so
Institutional.
long. Yeah.
Great to hear. I had Paulette on the show last year. And
Oh, she's so lovely.
she's been a big booster of Burlingame. It's a small town, so thanks for
Great.
saying that. Is there a particular season that's, you know, easier to be stylish? You know, I mean, is summer
You're doing
clothes
such a great
easier
job.
than winter? You know what I mean? Is there...
I would say summer is probably easier just because there's less layering components.
That's so funny. I was gonna say fall because you can layer up.
well,
Yes,
that's good. I'm
that's
glad
like
you
a
guys mix it
funny-
up.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's fine. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think for like, I don't know.
Well,
that's an interesting point.
We can easily move on from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Okay.
can we can agree to disagree, of
Yeah,
course.
We
agree
absolutely
to
can.
disagree.
We can also debate it out right now.
Yeah.
if we
I
want.
like it.
Yeah.
All right. So we all know clothes can be expensive. Can you be stylish or fashionable without spending a lot of money?
Absolutely.
100%. I mean, it goes back to the vintage conversation, like especially. But I mean, Adrienne and I were constantly like, if somebody's trying to get dressed for an event or something like that, we're on the phone. She's like, "Girl, you have something in your closet. You don't need to go shopping today. Don't buy that new thing. You definitely have something you can wear to this," and vice versa. You know, we're really lucky that we've built great wardrobes for ourselves. But beyond that, it's you almost always, unless you're doing something that's very occasion based or costumey or something like that, you most likely have what you need in your closet already, and you don't need to go spend money.
I think for us too, we work in the fashion industry. We understand what a concept to a consumer looks like. So from a product lens, and we understand, you know, the implications of what it means to make clothing. So every purchase we make, we're very conscious of what that purchase is. And to Jackie's point, you typically have what you want. You already have it. You've purchased it. It's in your closet. You need to find a new way of wearing it. Or you should be thinking about how can you upcycle this, you know, whether it's, you know, doing a Depop or a Poshmark, reselling your clothes so you can buy some new clothes with that.
Yeah. Or also just like really planning out those purchases for yourself too. So if you know you have something aspirational and a little bit more expensive that you want to buy, you can kind of like have that little list that you can reference so that you don't go impulse buy something and things like that. I'm a big believer in that as well, so that anything that you do buy is really intentional. It's made with quality, it's made to last, things like that.
Well, you guys just saved me a lot of money. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. What about I don't know if you watched the awards. Did you, either one of you watch the recent Academy Awards by any chance?
We watched the
honestly,
fashion.
we watched the retake. Yeah, not
Highlight
really.
reels.
Saw the highlights on
Yeah.
Instagram. I think people were definitely being a little bit more daring with their choices.
Absolutely.
You know.
So I understand that part of it. They're daring and it's interesting and all that good thing. But do these clothes really sell after, later on? Who's wearing these things?
Well, I think for the Academy Awards, I mean, this is just a moment for designers to lend out fabulous, unique pieces to promote their brand. So I don't know if people are running out to the shops to buy it.
So you would not necessarily see somebody wearing that at a cocktail party during the
I
year.
don't think so, but you could just take a trend maybe from the Academy Awards. A lot of people are wearing white at the moment.
Yeah.
Certain colors were definitely prevalent on the red carpet, I would say.
You see things start to trickle down from moments like that, but really, like what you're seeing on a runway, or not on a runway, but what you're seeing at the Oscars is a direct takedown of couture runways, which the average person really generally speaking, can't afford that or get that.
Yeah.
Or even in general, people are just much more casual nowadays in terms of getting dressed. I mean, you see that with athleisure wear.
Okay, you two young ladies are in your mid-30s, and you're both, let's see, AKL, you work for Levi's,
Correct.
and Jackie, you're with Dockers, which is a part of Levi's.
We
No?
work for Levi's, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We both do.
Okay, so would you both feel comfortable giving advice to a male or a female over the age of 50, 60, or 70? Or would you rather stay in your particular age group?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Age is just a number. We love to speak to older people, younger people.
I find myself
Inspired,
by
yeah.
older people and how they approach getting dressed and how they don't care so much in the sense of like, what do other people think of me, things like that. I find that really inspiring on a personal level, and I would kind of just like, from an advice standpoint, just like throw it right back at those generations. Like, keep doing what feels good, enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, wear what you want, wear what makes you happy, and wear what makes you feel good.
Yeah, and style's timeless.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter.
What about shirts tucked in or left out for men?
It depends on the shirt and the occasion
And the pant.
and the pant. So like,
a little French tuck is okay with a pair of jeans and a white t-shirt.
100%.
I'm sorry, a French tuck?
A
Like
little
a half tuck.
little half tuck.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're wearing a suit with a shirt tucked out, that doesn't look too nice. So I'm a big believer in in wear things the way they're intended to be worn, unless you're making a really specific statement about something, and make sure you do that well, or it's gonna not hit right.
There's actually a men's company that makes shirts to be untucked, correct?
Yeah, it's called Untuck It, and they're actually
Untuck
like one
It,
of my
yeah.
biggest competitors
Really?
for tops. Yeah.
I
Okay.
have never heard of that. So yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I described you guys earlier as being Instagram influencers. What does that mean?
That's really funny you called us that.
Yes.
I don't know if we would consider ourselves influencers, but we started Instagram in the age of the
In the
Instagram
age of it. Yeah, when it was like the right
influencer.
time to do it.
Okay.
But last night we were out to dinner, and just a little sidebar.
This is
we
cute.
were out to dinner and we had all of our purses on our table, and these ladies came up to us and complimented our bags.
Yeah. And we made friends instantly.
We made friends instantly with
It was so
them. We
nice.
took a photo with them at the end of the night, and they asked us if we were Instagram influencers. So
Yeah.
And these ladies that you met, about what's the approximate age there?
They were like in their like 40s,
50s,
50s. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
totally.
Okay.
they were mothers.
Yeah, they were definitely like a generation older than us.
So let's talk about your blog for a minute.
Let's talk.
Huh?
I said, let's talk.
Yeah. What's the name of the blog?
Style BFFs.
That's Style Best Friends?
Forever.
Hey, okay, good. So I checked out your blog, and I think it's really well done. Great photography by Dominic.
Dominic, our
Dominic's a
friend,
great job.
has done some great pictures for us.
Yeah, and
Some
it's
of our
really well done.
in-studio looks.
Yeah.
However, I don't know if much has been done since 2020, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
No.
the pandemic, right? It affected everyone.
But you guys were busy during that pandemic. You guys were very busy during 2020,
We
I
were
think.
incredibly busy. We've been really busy the last like 3 years. I thought COVID would slow my life down. It did not.
But you haven't done much for the blog since 2020.
You know, we haven't done much for the blog, I would say. You know, we're not writing as much because, again, as things kind of shift and change, people went from blogging to then Instagramming, from Instagramming to TikToking. It went from writing to pictures to film.
Video content,
Video
yeah.
content, right? So I think from like a digital standpoint, it's changed, but we're doing other things. Like we're podcasting now. And selling our clothes on the
They're
internet.
podcasting now.
Yeah,
I
so
like that.
I
That's
would say we've
interesting.
evolved it in a sense of like we sell our clothes on the internet. We definitely want to be like a much more service-based type of model, something where we can, work with people on their approach to their style, their approach to their closet, helping people clean out their closets, organize, identify
for a trip.
Yeah, identify what they want to keep, what they want to give away or sell. Again, really promoting things that we find valuable for ourselves as individuals and teaching people how they can, kind of evolve their approach to style, their approach to clothing, make a little money off of it for the people who decide to sell some stuff online. It's been nice. But yeah, I would say that that's kind of been our biggest evolution is just like, it is kind of more of like a collective approach, something that's service-based, something that's community-based.
It's been fun selling some of the clothes that we blogged in, honestly.
Yes.
Like we've been selling the clothes that we did Lookbook. If anyone on the listeners know about that, lookbook.nu. We're selling some of
another
those
era.
little outfits. We're selling some of our original kind of like blog post outfits. So it's been really nice kind of seeing that go to new people and having other people appreciate what we appreciated.
Well, I know you both know my wife, Kathy, and if you could see her closet, it's a treasure chest, okay? So maybe you guys could get together with her and we could
Love
start
to.
spinning some stuff off.
We'd love for her to be our first
And
client.
I know she's going to love to hear that crack, okay? But
Get her on the podcast.
yes. Anyway, we're getting close to wrapping it up, but in terms of what women and men are wearing today, what do you think, where's the trend going a year from now? Where's things headed?
I have real thoughts on this. And if you look at runway, it's so indicative of this kind of like recession mindset. Everything
I'm sorry,
is-
what's runway?
the runway? Come on.
Oh, the runway.
Catwalk.
The catwalk.
Okay.
What's coming out, what you're really seeing coming out of Fashion Week of around the globe is this like very much like simplified type of approach to fashion. And I think it's very indicative of the ways in which people are simplifying their lives. People are being a lot more, I guess, pragmatic in terms of what do they need, what should they be wearing. And I think that when you've really looked in history at the times in which people par down what they're wearing, they're a little less excessive, things like that. It really speaks to these very real moments economically, socially, politically. And I think that that's really what we're seeing is a very simplified, very gender neutral, very streamlined approach to fashion.
People are definitely going for more of the essentials and the basics. Kind of what Jackie's saying, like creating that closet uniform, having those foundations, and yeah, definitely gender neutral. We're seeing tons of baggy shapes and different silhouettes just being worn in new ways that are super interesting. I mean, I love wearing my grandfather's old button-down shirts. That's probably one of my essential pieces that I constantly wear of his, and just wearing it different ways, not like just wearing it as a button-up, wearing it as a dress, wearing it as an open tunic,
Yeah. I think the one thing I've noticed that for men is that we don't wear ties anymore.
No.
Unless it's something very special, dressed up
Yeah.
occasion. It's gotten, you might see a guy with a nice sport coat on and a button-down shirt and jeans. He's wearing jeans, right?
Yeah.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
menswear has definitely taken a casualization over time.
Absolutely.
When you think about everything that a man used to wear to work, a three-piece suit, a beautiful
Definitely.
like handkerchief,
beautiful
pocket,
leather and all of that kind of stuff.
a
Yeah.
briefcase.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't see that anymore.
no, you
we
don't.
need more briefcases on the street.
Even if they're empty.
Even if they're empty, we need more
They're
of
filled
them.
with cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys have been great. Thank you.
Is that it?
No, we're close to that's it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We could go on all day. I get
know.
that.
I know we could talk
But-
for a long
but,
time. I'm having fun.
Before we wrap this up, I told our listeners at the very beginning we would reveal who this AKL AKL is. So, AKL, why don't you tell our listeners what that stands for?
It's just my name, my initials. So Adrienne Kwok Lundy. Now Lucchesi. So
What's
I
that?
kept the L. Now Lucchesi.
Oh, that means you're my daughter-in-law.
Correct. Thank you for having me.
Married to my son Cameron.
I'm not a Nepo baby.
No.
I'm dead.
So I'm
Funny
glad.
anecdote. My mom officiated the Lundy Lucchesi wedding as well.
Absolutely.
I just
She
wanted to
did
give her a
great
shout
job.
out.
And I'm
did an
glad you
excellent
mentioned the
job.
Lundy part because your dad Jim he knew a lot of folks here in Burlingame and a lot of folks knew Jim. So
Yes, he was
I'm
also
really-
a Panther.
Yeah, absolutely. Jackie and Adrienne, what we do today, girls, we made a podcast. Thank you very much,
We made
both
magic
of you.
today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You bet, ladies. Thank you. I'd like to thank Jackie Groffman and Adrienne Kwok Lundy Lucchesi for being my guests today on Burlingame. It's a small town podcast sponsored by the Burlingame Historical Society. Thanks to Kathy and Shelby for editing and producing, the great Ray Tyler for video, and my musical director, Bray. You can hear more of Bray at bray.com. This podcast was recorded on Sunday, March 26, 2023. The Burlingame Historical Society copyrights this recording, and no part can be copied or replayed without the permission of the Burlingame Historical Society. So until next time, everyone, see you around Burlingame. It's a small town.